A woman who has already served more than 20 years in prison is now asking for a reduced sentence. Patrice Smith was still a teenager when she was convicted of killing a 71-year-old man in 1999. In a story you will only see on 7 Eyewitness News, Ashley Rowe looks at the new state law protecting sex abuse survivors that could help give Smith her freedom.
December 1st, 1999, then 17-year-old Patrice Smith was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for murdering a 71-year-old minister, Robert Robinson.
Smith was found guilty in October of strangling the Buffalo minister in his Hamlin Road home and then stealing one of his Cadillacs.
This was not a random killing. Smith and Robinson had a months-long relationship that began when Smith was 15 years old.
According to police, Smith befriended the popular reverend, and he offered to help out with money whenever she needed it.
But that help came with sexual strings attached, according to Smith's attorney, who 2 decades after Smith's murder conviction is trying to get her a reduced sentence.
The fact that the reverend had been sexually exploiting Patrice as a teenager is inseparable from the commission of the offense. She was made to engage in sexual conduct, and she was rewarded for that conduct with material items, with money, with food, going shopping, use of a car, right? That is commercial sexual exploitation.
The Domestic Violence Survivors Justice Act allows a judge to re-sentence a person who suffered sexual, psychological, or physical abuse that contributed to their conviction. Kate Mogulescu argues her client is exactly who this law is intended to serve.
I mean, put very simply, in 1999, the notion that a 71-year-old man was in a sexual relationship with a 16-year-old girl, a relationship that started when she was 15, it was just viewed differently. And although I don't think that anyone would have said, oh, that's okay, we did not have the legal framework that we have now to recognize that as abuse, as exploitation.
Evidence of their sexual relationship was introduced in the trial in 1999. This was an exchange between the defense attorney and Smith's friend, Martricia Gaskin. Question: did you know if Patrice had sex with Mr. Robinson? Answer: yes. Question: did you know he gave her money? Answer: yeah. Question: did Mr. Robinson know that Patrice Smith wasn't 18 years old? Answer: yes.
And there's more sworn testimony about their intimate relationship scattered throughout the trial transcripts. Mogulescu hopes it will compel Judge Sheila DiTullio to consider a lesser sentence, the equivalent to time served, or 21 years. But District Attorney John Flynn believes the sexual relationship between Smith and Robinson was not a factor in his murder, and he believes Smith should not be given a lesser sentence.
Flynn declined an interview, but in a statement, he wrote, quote, I strongly support the Domestic Violence Survivors Justice Act. However, the gruesome facts of this particular murder do not warrant the relief set forth in this law, and therefore I am strongly opposing the petitioner's motion.
Seeking resentencing for a survivor like Patrice Smith does not diminish or in any way undercut the severity of the offense itself. This law doesn't excuse it. It's not exonerating her. But it's saying there's more than meets the eye here. And she, as a young girl who was sexually exploited, deserves a different sentence.
A hearing is scheduled for June 4th, this Thursday. If Judge DiTullio decides not to approve the application for resentencing, Smith, now 37 years old, will remain behind bars for at least another 3.5 years.